numbness in your feet, that pins and needles feeling, the cold that won't go away no matter how many blankets you pile on. Most people over 60 dismiss these sensations as just another harmless part of getting older. They shrug it off, ignore it, and hope it goes away on its own. But that numbness is not harmless. It is a warning signal. And if you keep ignoring it, the consequences can be devastating. Here is the truth that most people have no idea about. Your feet are going numb because the blood is not reaching them properly. And the longer you ignore this, the more damage you are doing to the nerves, muscles, and tissues in your lower legs. By the time you finally pay attention, the damage can be irreversible. The most common cause of poor circulation in older adults is peripheral artery disease, or PAD. According to the Journal of Vascular Surgery, close to 1 in 5 adults over 70 has PAD, and most of those people have no idea they have it. The condition occurs when the arteries supplying blood to the legs become narrow or blocked. Symptoms can include pain, cramping, numbness, weakness, and coldness in the legs. A review published by the National Institutes of Health estimates that 10 to 25% of the population over 55 is affected by PAD, with the incidence increasing with age. Furthermore, approximately 70 to 80% of patients with the disease are asymptomatic in the early stages. That means most people who have poor circulation have no idea until it is advanced. I spent months researching this. I tested different movements. I tracked the effects on circulation. And I found one specific move that works faster and more effectively than anything else. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what that movement is and exactly how to do it. But first, let me ask you something. Do your feet feel cold even when the rest of your body is warm? Do you get pins and needles in your toes at night? Have you noticed any changes in skin color or texture on your lower legs? Are your toenails getting thicker or more brittle? Do you have slow healing sores on your feet? If you answered yes to any of these, your circulation is compromised, and you need to act now. Let me tell you about the calf muscle. Your legs are dying because they have lost their pump. Your calf is often called your second heart, and this is not just a cute figure of speech. One heart pump has enough power to send blood to every part of the body. However, since the blood is flowing against gravity, sending it toward the heart will take more than a single pump. For this reason, the body uses the calf muscles to pump blood from your lower legs back to the heart. Here is how it works. Each time your calf muscles contract, they press against the deep veins in your lower legs and move blood upward through a series of one-way valves. This muscle action prevents blood from pooling in your feet and lower legs, especially during long bouts of sitting or standing. If those muscles are tight or undertrained, circulation slows and swelling can develop. But after 60, 3 things go wrong with this system. First, the vein walls get weaker and stretchier. Second, the one-way valves inside those veins start to leak. And third, the calf muscle itself shrinks and loses power. The pump slows down, and when it slows, blood stalls at your ankles instead of climbing. The swelling gets worse. The feet get colder. The skin down there starts running short on oxygen. And the less you move, the weaker the pump gets. It becomes a slow downward spiral. Now, here is the good news. You can fix this. You can restore the flow, and it does not depend on your step count. It depends on a handful of specific movements that physically push the blood back up where it belongs. The National Institutes of Health study on supervised exercise for PAD found that significant meaningful improvements in walking distance and walking ability can be achieved through consistent exercise. The study showed that after 12 weeks of supervised exercise, 6-minute walk distance improved by 31.8 meters, which is a clinically meaningful improvement. More importantly, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has covered supervised exercise training for patients with PAD since 2017. The evidence is clear. Movement heals circulation. I am going to walk you through 5 movements in order, counting down from 5 to 1. Each one does something the one before it could not. And I am saving the single most powerful movement for the end. The one exercise that vascular rehab programs all over the world lean on more than any other to get blood flowing again after 60. But before the movements, let me tell you about someone. I am going to call her Lorraine. Lorraine was 73, sharp as a tack, still driving, still hosting her grandkids on Sundays. But her feet were numb every single night, even in the middle of summer. Her ankles turned to bread dough by dinner time. She had been faithfully walking a mile a day for years, and she was quietly heartbroken that it was not helping. Keep Lorraine in the back of your mind, because what finally changed for her is the entire point of this video. Let us start the countdown. Number 5. Ankle pumps. This one looks almost too simple to be worth your time. It is often the very first movement patients are given after leg surgery, before they are even allowed to stand up. The reason it works is straightforward. When you flex your foot up and then point it down, your calf contracts and relaxes. That motion squeezes the veins and moves the blood that has been sitting stagnant around your ankles. A 2025 review in the Journal of Orthopedic Surgery and Research gathered up 16 separate randomized trials and found that simple ankle pumping improved blood flow back up the leg and brought down lower leg swelling in older adults, with no standing and no walking required at all. The whole key is to do it slowly with control and to do it often. To do it right, sit in a chair with your feet flat on the floor, lift your toes up toward your shins while you keep your heels planted down, then reverse it. Press your toes down into the floor and lift your heels up the way you would ease onto a gas pedal. Slow and deliberate, that is 1 repetition. Aim for 20 to 30 of them 2 or 3 times a day. You can do this while you watch television, while you read, while you sit at the kitchen table waiting for the kettle. Think about how much time you spend sitting in the car, at meals, in your chair in the evening. All of that is time your pump is switched off and blood is settling in your feet. Ankle pumps switch it back on without you even getting up. Number 4. Seated leg lifts. And if you are thinking that sitting down must make this an easy one, your legs are going to tell you a very different story about 10 seconds in. When you straighten your leg out in front of you and hold it there, you fire the big muscles across the front of your thigh and the muscles at the front of your hip. Those are the exact muscles you rely on to stand up out of a chair, to climb a flight of stairs, to catch yourself when you start to go down. And when they contract, they press on the large veins running up through your thigh and help drive blood out of the leg. Geriatric doctors track something called gait speed, which is simply how fast you walk. They call it the 6th vital sign, right up there with your pulse and your blood pressure. Because how fast you walk turns out to predict your fall risk, your independence, and even how long you are likely to live. When walking slows down, it is often one of the very first signals that the body is quietly losing ground. Strengthening the muscles that carry you is exactly how you defend that ground. Here is how you do it. Sit up tall in a sturdy chair with your back pressed against the seat and both feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift one leg straight out in front of you, keeping the knee as straight as is comfortable for you. Hold it there for 2 seconds, then lower it back down slowly without letting the foot just flop to the floor. That is 1 repetition. Do 10 to 15 on one leg, then switch to the other side. The detail nearly everyone misses is the back. Keep it firmly against the chair so you cannot cheat by rocking and using momentum. That is what forces the right muscles to actually do the work. And that is where the circulation benefit comes from. As this starts to feel easy, add a little resistance. A light ankle weight or a resistance band looped around your foot. Even 1 or 2 pounds makes a real difference. Muscle responds to gentle, steady load at any age, and older adults very often improve faster than they expect, simply because they are starting from further back. Number 3. Toe circles. This movement improves joint flexibility and encourages blood flow throughout the foot and ankle. Over time, limited motion alters your stride and adds pressure to surrounding joints. Toe circles help prevent this by maintaining full range of motion in the ankles and feet. Sit down, lift one foot, and make circles with your toes in one direction and then the other. Do 10 circles each way on each foot. This simple movement helps get blood flowing to the small vessels in your feet. The small vessels are often the first to suffer from poor circulation. Toe circles keep them open and moving. Number 2. The supported calf raise. This is the movement that trains your circulation and your balance at the very same time. And balance is the thing that quietly decides whether a person keeps their independence or slowly loses it. The National Institute on Aging is very clear on this point. Keeping your lower body muscles strong is one of the best things you can do to hold on to your mobility as you get older. To keep rising out of chairs, off the couch, up the stairs without needing a hand. And your calves sit right at the center of that. Every time they contract, they squeeze those deep veins and force blood upward against gravity. Weak calves mean blood pools, swelling climbs, and your balance reactions get a little slower. To do a supported calf raise, stand behind a sturdy chair or at a kitchen counter and rest your hands on it lightly for balance. Feet about hip width apart, rise up slowly onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as is comfortable. At the top, pause for 2 or 3 seconds and keep your eyes looking straight ahead rather than down at your feet. Then lower yourself slowly, taking a full 3 seconds to come back down. That slow tempo and that little pause at the top are where the real work happens. It makes your calf muscles and your balance system fire together, which is the precise thing your body has to do when you catch yourself mid-stumble. Start with 10 of them. Build toward 20 or 25 as you get stronger. Over just a few weeks, this one movement improves your ankle stability, your circulation, and how fast you react all at once. And it does all of that without pounding on your knees or your hips. Number 1. The standing calf pump hold. This is the movement I promised you all the way back at the start. It looks a lot like the calf raise from number 2, with one small difference that changes everything. The hold, you rise up onto the balls of your feet, and then you stay right there. Your calves work like pressure pumps, and holding at the top keeps that pump fully squeezed long enough to actually clear out the blood that has been stalling around your ankles and drive it up toward your heart. Ankle pumps wake the system up. Seated leg lifts move blood through the thighs. Toe circles open the small vessels. Calf raises train balance and circulation. This movement moves the most blood of all, and it keeps it moving. The evidence behind it is real. In a randomized trial published in the Journal of Vascular Surgery, people with genuinely poor leg circulation who did a simple program built around calf raise exercise were able to walk significantly farther before the pain set in. Their pain-free walking distance improved by dozens of meters, and their total walking distance by close to 100 meters with no medication and no machine involved anywhere. That is the calf pump doing the job it was built to do. Here is how to do it safely. Stand behind a chair or at a counter, hands resting there for your balance. Feet about hip width apart. Rise up slowly onto the balls of your feet, heels lifting as high as is comfortable. Now hold it, 3 to 5 seconds at the very top. Breathing normally, eyes forward. Then lower yourself back down slowly. About 3 seconds to come all the way down. That is 1 repetition. Start with 8 to 10 of them. Work up over time to 15 or 20. Always with control, never rushing. The hold is the entire point. That sustained squeeze keeps the pump fully engaged, drives the blood up, brings the swelling down, and strengthens the exact muscles your body reaches for when you catch yourself. And because there is no jumping and no pounding anywhere in it, it is gentle enough for most people with arthritis or shaky balance, as long as you keep one hand on that counter. You can do this while waiting for your coffee to brew. You can do this while brushing your teeth. You can do this while watching the evening news. 1 minute. That is all it takes. Let me tell you what happened with Lorraine. I had her stop obsessing over her step count and instead do these 5 movements in order for about 12 minutes a day. Ankle pumps in her chair first thing in the morning. Seated leg lifts, toe circles, supported calf raises at the kitchen counter while her coffee brewed. And the standing calf pump holds at the very end. Now, I am going to be honest with you about her result because I always am. Her circulation did not turn into a 30-year-old's overnight, and I would never promise you that. But within a few weeks, her ankles were not ballooning up by dinner anymore. Her feet were warmer at night. Her numbness faded. And the thing she told me she cared about the most, she stopped feeling like she might tip over when she got up off the couch. She felt steady again. For a woman who had been quietly terrified of falling, that was everything. Before I send you off, I owe you one honest caution. If you ever get sudden severe pain in one leg, or a leg turns pale and cold and numb out of nowhere, or you have a sore on your foot or ankle that simply will not heal, please do not sit at home doing exercises. That is the kind of thing you get looked at quickly, because it can mean an artery is seriously blocked, and that is an emergency. Everything I have shown you today is meant for the slow, chronic, everyday poor circulation, not for a sudden crisis like that. Now, one more thing. There is a simple test you can do right now to check your circulation. Press firmly on the top of your foot for 5 seconds. When you release, The skin should turn pink within 2 to 3 seconds. If it stays pale or takes a long to return to normal color, that is a sign that blood flow to your feet is compromised. Try it now, right on the top of your foot. Press, hold, release, and watch. If the color does not come back quickly, you need to start these exercises today. So, there they are. 5 movements that wake up your second heart and get the blood moving back up out of your legs. Let me give you a fast recap. Number 5, ankle pumps to wake the pump up. Number 4, seated leg lifts to move blood up through the thighs. Number 3, toe circles to open the small vessels. Number 2, supported calf raises for circulation and balance together. And number 1, the standing calf pump hold, the most powerful of them all. The one I would pick without hesitation if you made me choose only one. Keep walking. Walking is wonderful, and I never want you to stop doing it. But walking alone leaves a real gap, and these 5 movements are what fill it. They take less than 15 minutes a day. They cost you nothing at all. And you can do every one of them at home in front of the television. Your feet are the furthest point from your heart. They need help to get the blood back up. Your calf is the pump. Use it. Start today. If this video changed how you see foot numbness, hit like so Winds of Thought can bring you more science of the body you inhabit. And comment below, do your feet go numb at night? Press the top of your foot right now. How long did it take for the color to come back? Try it and tell me. Your feet have been waiting. Start today. Says this video to someone who needs to hear it. Your parent with cold feet, your friend with pins and needles, your neighbor who is losing their balance. Their circulation is failing. They just need the pump. You don't need a gym. You don't need equipment. You need 1 minute. And your calf. Your feet have been waiting. Start today.